Hello everyone and welcome to the Action Figure-atorium. My name is Mark Major. I am a real big toy collector here in the Southeast Portland. And today we're going to be doing another kind of a build-a-team. This is really more of a kit bash. It's really more of a rob something from a thrift store to make something else. Of course, we're going to be making Geisha Assassins today. And basically, we're going to be doing it through the power of soft goods. And anytime you're using the power of soft goods, you know that this episode then has to go out to a person that we all admire in the collecting sphere, and that would be KJ Jones. KJ Jones, if you're watching, this one is dedicated to you, amigo. So, everybody, come together, strap on the leather, and of course, that's right, hold on tight. So if you're wondering what this is all about, I have a plethora of 1/12 scale female ninja type action figures. I've got a loose collector executive replicas Shi. I've got a G.I. Joe classified Akiko. And then there's this strange World Wrestling chick who looks like she stole Shi's outfit. I forget her name. We'll probably go look her up and put her in the description. Doesn't matter. It's just another one of these wrestling action figures. They're all over the place. So what we did, go out every morning to the different thrift stores. There's a Goodwill right by my house. And what I do is I look for these sort of Asian tchotchke dolls. They are dolls that are either made of compressed twigs and paper, or else they're actually little pillows, but they have porcelain arms, heads, and feet. And they've got these cool sort of geisha girl outfits. And what I do is I roll in, and they're pretty cheap. I'm talking $2, $3. Sometimes no one buys them. They go half off. But I carry this folded up in my wallet, and it's a little diagram you can see of a type of an action figure of sorts. I've just, kind of charted it out. And I'll go and I'll put this next to the doll, and I'll see if it's even kind of close. And a lot of these, for the most part, they're a little too big, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to show you that. And of course, like any found item, you get what you get, people. It's not like you just comes off the assembly line made for action figures. This is something I go out and hunt for, and then I scavenge it together and strap it onto a figure. And so let's take a look at 4 dolls that I found that we are going to destroy. We're going to be ripping these things apart. We're going to be harvesting their outfits and putting them on cool action figures, because we're going to make some Geisha Assassins. Are you ready, people? Here comes the production value people have been talking about. Look at this. It's just like a real show. I don't know why this isn't voted best real show on the internet, because maybe because it's not a real show. So what do we got exactly? We got these 4 figures. I got them here on the Lazy Susan. We'll take a look. As you can see, some are kind of large. That is a factor, but just note that if they're long, you can always roll up or let the bottom of the dresses splay out. So we've got some red ones. We've got this kind of weird gray one, and you can see they've got bases, and you can also see that they're kind of tacked together. We'll get into that. Here's one. I guess I was facing her the wrong way. I don't think it really, to be honest, I don't think it really matters. There's one in the back here. So these are the four figures that we have to work with. And what we're going to do is we're going to rip these things apart, friends. They are not going back together. When they're done, it's a big pile of trash. There's nothing really usable per se that I can tell when you're done with these things. So if you go out and you buy these, don't think you're saving the doll, you're wrecking the doll. Okay, let's move on to our first figure. And we're going to use this. This is a G.I. Joe classified. She's got the look. Except why is she dressed like she's in Daft Punk or something? Don't know. Don't know exactly. But first figure that we're going to use for her is going to be this. We're using this figure right here. We've ripped her apart. This is what it looks like. So you get the outfit in 3 parts. There's a top part, right? There's a bottom part, sort of the skirt. And then there's a midsection. And then there's a big pile of trash left over. This is the inside. These things are all bundled together like a bundle of sticks. In fact, if you're looking for something to do, type in bundle of sticks Italy and see what comes up. You may be surprised, people. You may not be surprised. Okay, so this is the first figure, and what I did is I took the top part here and I put it over Akiko, I think that's her name, and then I just put the skirt, you know, came from the other side, and then we just sort of put the mid part on, and the trickiest thing is getting the arms. Now, you're going to find that the neck part on this one is a little too big, a little too bulky. Your head looks a little too small. Not a big deal in my opinion. Why? Because I'm into this for $2. That's the joke. All right? So let's take a look and see what we got. Here's what she looks like when this thing is assembled onto her. Not terribly bad, huh? Again, the head looks a little small, but this G.I. Joe Classified is a little smaller figure. You can see that it looks pretty cool, though. I mean, it's got kind of a thing going on with it. And, of course, I can do all sorts of cool poses with her. But, as I mentioned before, you can really see how the neck scarf thing is too big. But you could work on it. There's some things you could do. There's some moments where you could make this thing happen. And, you know, that's what I'm going to do in the future. This is just about showing you guys kind of a Kitbash hack that I came up with on her, right? So there she is. She's ready to do battle with who? Don't know. All right, let's move on to the next one. We've got 2 more to go, people. We got 4 figures, 2 to go. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to work on Shi, Billy Tucci Shi, and we're going to use this figure right here with this terrible, terrible, terrible hat that's mushed onto her. And this one, I'm not gonna tell you that this was easy. This one was a bitch because the top part of it goes over one shoulder and goes underneath, and then that has to go on in the middle part. This was rough, people. I had a rough time with this one, and I barely crossed the finish line. I got to go back and work on this and fix it, and I'm going to give you guys a tip. Rather than when it's all broken apart and loose and stuff, the garment, to try and put it on the figure and then drape it back together, glue it first. Use this stuff. I got this from the dollar store, this tacky glue. You see this? See this stuff here, this tacky glue? Use this stuff. That's what I use, but tacky glue it first before you put it on the figure because it's a battle, and there's no winning things at this battle. All right, so just want to show you that you kind of size these things up. She's about the right size, and again, when in doubt, go small, people. Go small. Nothing wrong with going small. Now, this skirt thing is going to be tough, so I ended up taking it off. I ended up, you know, removing this thing so that I could slip this on. I thought maybe I could leave it underneath and it would help. Nah, don't do that. Just take it off. Okay. So this is what the thing looks like when I took all the bundle of sticks, Italy, look it up, and broke porcelain, broke the feet. What does that mean? It means garbage, not coming back. If you think I can reuse any of this stuff, you're wrong. Can't reuse any of it. So let's check out what she looks like. Look at that, people. I decided to give her the magic umbrella. It's the Asian Mary Poppins, people. That's what you pay for when you watch this show. You're paying for me to come up with some witty one-liners. And gave her a sword. Why not? In case she needs to stab her way out of whatever predicament. Now, if you look at the back of this thing, you can see that there's a seam that's open in the back. Nothing wrong with that. It allows me to move the legs a little bit. But this thing was tough to get the top part all sort of wrapped around and tucked in because it was like actually part of the sleeve was still sewn onto the bottom part. pretty brutal. I'm going to go back and I'm going to rework this one a little bit because this is the best looking one as far as the overall fit. The other ones you're going to see they're a little too big around the neck, but this one looks pretty good. You can see, yeah, I didn't do the best job of stuffing that in, but I just wanted to get this video out and, you know, it's starting to take a long time. But I think you guys can see the promise of something like this has. You get like a cool figure like your Shi figure. She's got a bunch of swords and daggers and knives and spears and stuff, and then you give her this cool outfit. Now she's ready to kick ass for the Lord. Let's move on, shall we? Because I think one more, and then we have a team assembled, people. A team. Now, this is the last figure. It's this weird wrestling chick. Again, forgot her name, and it's funny because I had an eBay alert for her. I wanted to get one cheap, and I got this girl cheap. And I got her because she looks kind of like she's part of this gang, this Shi gang. Now, I can either use this weird sort of gray-purple one, which I can't tell if it's supposed to be like this or if it faded or discolored. Was the whole thing purple, gray? Don't know. Don't know, but I'm sizing her up, and you can see that she's a little small, but again, when it comes to the bottom of the garment, you see how the bottom of the garment there has been, they tacked it on. Well, you can do the same thing if it's too long on the figure, so you can always got a little bit of leeway with this. But I think we're going to go with this one. Why? Because that way all of my Geisha Assassins are all in some kind of red, and they all have a little bit of, I think, blue on them too, just a smidge. Now this dress is completely huge to this, right? You can see how gargantuan this is, but it's going to be flowing and long, and you know what? We can actually put a little wire into it. Didn't do it this episode. Maybe episode 2 we'll do a follow-up or something. She does have the ridiculous hat. The hat doesn't work. The hat's going away. We'll find something else with the hat. So, let's check out what this thing looked like when it came apart. This one was an actual doll. An actual, I mean, traditional porcelain kind of doll where it's just pillow and they put the porcelain legs on or the hands, and this was actually sewn on, and this crazy weird hat could be reusable. Don't think it's reusable, but this came apart in 3 pieces. One part goes over the head and contains the right arm. The other part goes over the left arm and is kind of the sort of Darth Vader skirt that goes down, and then you've got the middle piece that goes around. And this thing is a dog that hunts. This is pretty cool. So let's check her out. There she is. And again, it's sort of big in this area. Maybe we can work on that. Maybe that's a thing that can be adjusted. Maybe I can hem it in, tuck it in. Maybe I can sew it. Again, I use this tacky glue if I have to keep something down. It's just a quick way to move. But you can see how big this skirt came out around her. And you could see that I could easily put some kind of wire in it and we could get some flowing robes. But also this wrestler, her hands will not grip anything. I had to use the tacky putty. If you can see the tacky putty in the hands, do apologize. Just trying to, you know, crank these vids out. I think a lot of people here probably understand what's going on. You can see I'm just robbing some dolls and putting the clothes on some action figures that fit the part. I think the main thing about this, what's up with the weird purple hair in the back? I think the main thing about this is when you get the full posse together. Check it out, people. What is this? This is what I'm calling a full posse. Now, when you got all 3 of them like this, looks pretty good. Doesn't look perfect, doesn't look amazing or over the top, but also each one of these outfits, $2. I think one I paid $3 for, and I've got stands too. Technically, could reuse the stands if I had to. I mean, they are wood, lacquered wood, but stands are stands. And, you know, when you've got a team going, it's all about the synergy of how one figure works with another figure. And, you know, let me know if you think that this has got some synergy, or is this, as some people might suspect is going on, complete crap, garbage, some trash from a thrift store that I ripped apart and threw on some action figures and, you know, made a video for? This is what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear you guys weigh in. But look at this. Is this not cool? Does this not work for you guys? Are you not into this? Or is it just complete garbage? Would love to hear your opinions, your comments, which direction I should go. Should I do more of this stuff also? Is this the kind of thing that maybe somebody out there would like to buy these outfits? Could I possibly find a way to stitch them together to make them something that you could take on and off all the time, make it easier, resell them? Probably not. It's probably a one-way road. Probably these aren't going to come off, and if they do, they're probably not going back on, but who knows? Might be something that I work towards fixing in the future. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you enjoy this channel, give it a subscribe. And everyone else, you know, of whatever you're into, let's all stay charged, people. You know what I'm saying?